What is going on, guys? Fitcho here, and welcome back to my World Rallycross Championship season here on Dirt 4. Today is episode number 5, the final round of the season. Sadly, there's only 5 tracks, so we've only got 5 rounds, unfortunately. I've had so much fun with this, and I can't wait to get into this final round of the championship in France at the Loheac-Bretagne circuit. Excuse my pronunciation, I am not very good at French. I did it in for half a year back in secondary school in year 7 or something, but nothing stuck with me. I don't remember at all, and my pronunciation was probably way off there. But nonetheless, we are heading to France for some more rallycross action, and I can't wait to get into this. In terms of the championship, this is a bit of a nothing round, but really, we're not really caring about the championship in this season. At least I'm not. I'm just here to go racing and have some fun, and that's exactly what we're going to do here in France. So, for the first qualifying heat, we're in Group D as normal with Munich, Markland, and Chicherit.
Alright, I'll be watching over the action. Have a good one.
Here we go. It is time for the first qualifying heat here in France as we grab the handbrake. We are ready to race. And we're green for Q1 here in France, and Chicherit has got a lightning start from 3rd place. Oh, wow, what a start. We've just backed it in to turn 1 and had a half spin and lost a whole heap of time. The worst way you could possibly start an event, spinning at the very first corner, but we're going to dive into the Joker. I think that is René Munich that we're following in. Attack that curve, flip the car back to the right. Then we have a very fast rejoin out of here, and now onto the brakes for the second last corner. Chicherit is right in front of us, and he has not jokered. It looks like there's only 3 of us in this race. No, even 4. No, 3. Only 3 showing up on the top right, so someone must be out of this race. Something happened between Chicherit and one of the other drivers. I'm not too sure, but looking at the top right, there's only 3 names listed. Oh, that's late on the... No, it wasn't late on the brakes from me. That was early on the brakes from Munich. We got the car pulled up very comfortably for that left-hander. Now, can we sneak up the inside of Munich into turn number 1? And yes, we do. Into the lead of this heat as we get in that ditch a little bit on the curb on the left-hand side. We are now in the lead on lap number 3 of 4 in Q1. Oh, that was a little bit wide coming out of the fast right-hander, but I don't think it has hurt us too bad. It's around the final corner, across the line, with a time of 2:21.127. I'm not too sure how that stands. We did have a half spin at the first corner, but other than that, it was quite a nice heat. And overall, we go number 1 in Q number 1, just beating Balmanis by half a second there. And yes, I was right. Someone did retire. That someone was Markland from our heat. Now, can we have a look at the replay? Is there a way to change who we are watching? No, we can change our camera angle, but it doesn't look like we can actually change to another driver, or can we? Is there a way to change? No, it doesn't look like we can actually change to watch anyone else. It looks like we're just going to have to try and guess. From what we can see on the outside, can we see much about what has happened? If we change the camera angle a little bit to this angle, we scroll through a little bit. Now, there's only 3 people at this stage. We're going to have to go right back to the start, I think. Where did Markland DNF from this event? I can't quite see anything. There he is. There's Markland there as we head through, as we dive into the Joker. And then we go through here. Where is he? He's not there. He's just disappeared. He's retired somewhere there on the normal lap, on lap number 1, and we cannot see a single thing. It doesn't look like he's actually come together with Chicherit. I'm not too sure. It's going to be a mystery as to what has happened to Markland, but that really is irrelevant to us as we've won Q1. So for heat number 2, we're in Group A with Janus Balmanis, Jani, and Gronholm. Here we go, heat number 2, and we are starting on pole position, a nice place to be starting, but hopefully this time we get a little bit better start. Hold the handbrake, we are ready to race. And Q2 is underway, and again we have not had the best stars. We head down towards turn number 1. We're 3 wide through turn number 1, and we just hold on. But it looks like we're still side by side as we tap the back of, I think, that is Gronholm is now onto the brakes for the hairpin. Oh, we've almost spun the car as there goes Balmanis into the Joker lap, and we are into the lead, assuming we can get through the standard lap and stay ahead of Balmanis. The Joker Delta is really small here, and as you can see, Balmanis has actually rejoined in front of us. That's exactly what I mean. The Joker Delta is very small. Looking at the top right, top left, I should say, it says that the Joker Delta is only 0.8 of a second here in France, so maybe taking a Joker isn't the worst idea in the world. Up the inside of Balmanis into the hairpin. He goes around our outside as we pull off into the Joker lap, over the little bump, flick it over the left curve and back to the right is now the very fast exit. As you can see, we really have not lost that much time to Balmanis. In fact, with the rejoin, we have actually closed up to the back of Balmanis. That's how the Joker is here in France. It's quite an odd one around the outside turn number 1. That is never going to work. We're trying to get a nice line as we head through turn number 2, up his inside, possibly down into the hairpin. A little bit of a love tap on the back of his Ford Fiesta, and up the inside we go as he switched back to our inside. I can't quite see. I can hear engine noise from that side of the car. I'm going to assume he is there and leave a little bit of space on the inside of the fast right-hander, but it looks like we have got the lead here in qualifying heat number 2 as we're about to start the final lap. And into the final corner, power out, and across the line, time of 2:18.647. Where does that put us overall in qualifying heat number 2? It puts us first place, so that is back-to-back heat wins here in France, with Sebastian Loeb in second place. We've beaten him by a whole second and a half. Then Balmanis, who finished just behind us in our heat, has finished third overall. So for heat number 3, we are starting on pole position in group number A. Alongside us is Sebastian Loeb, Yanis Balmanis, and Timur Timizyanov. And what I'm thinking, what I want to try and do, we've won the first 2 qualifying heats. It would be awesome if we could get a clean sweep of qualifying heats and go top qualify with a maximum 200 heat points that we can get. Here we go, heat number 3. Can we get another heat win here in France and go for my little challenge for myself? Here we go, we are ready to race. And we're green in heat number 3, and we get a decent start, but someone from the very outside has got a lightning start. That could be Balmanis. In fact, it is, and Timizyanov has also got up into the lead. Me and Sebastian Loeb have had dreadful starts as we head down towards the hairpin. As Loeb pushing up our inside, I think he is, as Balmanis has dived off into the Joker lap, and we are now sitting in second place right behind the Ford Fiesta of Timizyanov. And then you can see Yanis Balmanis has rejoined in the lead. We're going to try it up the inside of Timizyanov as we got a little bit wide through that long right-hander, and we're going to have to go possibly for an early Joker. We're slipping up the inside of Timizyanov into turn number 1 on lap number 2. Should we try the Joker, the same trick we pulled in the last hit, and get a good Joker and try to use that to our advantage to actually catch up to Yanis Balmanis? We might as well try it into the Joker. We go over this fast chicane. You can use a lot of curb there as now through the fast exit. It's a very fast rejoin, and we have now caught right up to the back of that Ford Fiesta of Yanis Balmanis as we have 2 laps left here in France. We need to win this heat. I want to win all the heats if I can. That's my challenge for myself, but that Fiesta being right in front of us is not going to work. Can we dive up the inside as we head down to the hairpin? Yes, we can. We run a little bit deep. He's going to slip back up our inside, I would assume, as we're now, I think, running side by side up towards this very fast right-hander. Try to pitch the car in, and he's not there. We've got the move done, and we're into the lead here in France. And now we just need to set a good lap time on this final lap to make sure no one else beats us in any of the other heats. Around the final corner, across the line, a time of 2:18.161. I think that should be good enough to get another heat when we're about to find out Where are we overall? Yes, first place. Yet again overall. That is 3 heat wins so far. And this time we got it by just over 1 second. 1.2 seconds back to Nicholas Gronholm. So we are 3 from 3 so far in the heats. Can we go 4 from 4? We have 1 heat left. My goal, my little challenge for myself is to win all 4 of them. We came close last time in Sweden. We got all but the third one where we had a little bit of a spin from memory. But hopefully another good heat and we can win all the qualifying heats. So, for heat number 4, of course, we are on pole position in Group A. We have Gronholm, Baumanis, and Kevin Eriksson alongside us. And actually, it's an all-Ford affair with 3 Fiestas and, of course, myself in the focus. Here we go, heat number 4. Can we go 4 from 4 in the qualifying heat? We are starting in the best possible place to do 4. We grab the handbrake. We are ready to race. And we're green for heat number 4, and we have not had the best start in the world as Gronholm has had a lightning start us down into turn number 1. We almost spin it, trying to avoid. I think that was Janis Baumanis who was coming across our nose very, very aggressively. Is now up the inside of Kevin Eriksson. We're back it in. Something feels a little bit off in this car. The steering is all over the place. Is now into the Joker lap right in front of us. Oh my god, the back end is so damn taily. I'm not too sure what on earth is going on, but this car is turning into a menace to drive, as it looks like that was Gronholm who jokered with us, and he has jumped out into second place as we are right on the back of Kevin Eriksson. A better exit out of the final corner, up his inside down into turn number 1, and that should be third place. He's still on our insides. We're trying to shut the door on him, and now we're going to dive up the inside of Gronholm down into the hairpin. We should be able to get this move done, which we do. Now we only have Janis Baumanis in front of us, but he is yet to Joker. But like I said, you've seen in the first 3 heats, that Joker is a very odd one here in France as we back it into that second last corner. Like I said, this car is behaving quite oddly, very different to the first 3 heats, but I can drive around that, and hopefully we can try to get the final heat win here and go 4 from 4 on lap number 3 of 4 here in France in the final hit. We're going to dive up the inside of Baumanis. He crosses across our nose, and he is yet to Joker, so he's going to have to Joker on the final lap as we're going to his outside through this very fast right-hander. It's hard enough going through here by yourself, but right around the outside of Baumanis onto the brake. Oh, we've gone in deep. He's going to get that position back as now we're on his outside through the final corner. That is not going to work. Back to his inside. He's gone wide on the exit, up his inside, down into turn number 1, and we're up into the leaders. He's still on our inside. No, he's not. And we're into the leaders. He is going to have to dive into the Joker, and now we just need a good lap from here to make sure no one else in any of the other races can beat our time as Baumanis goes into the Joker lap. And hopefully he doesn't rejoin in front of us. We know what this Joker is like, so we get a little bit sideways through that fast right-hander. We've got the lead down into the second last corner, now into the last corner, pitch the nose in, power out of the corner, up to the line. We win our race with a time of 2:20.7, but I feel like that time, compared to our previous times, wasn't that fast. That first lap was very, very scrappy overall. Yes, we win the heat. We've gone 4 from 4, a clean sweep of all the qualifying heats, and we win that by only 9/10 of a second to Janis Baumanis, the man who finished just behind us in our very own heat. So we get the top qualifier award. And if we have a look, 200 points, 50 in all 4 of the qualifying heats, the most amount of heat points you can get. A clean sweep here in France, and we've achieved my little challenge. And now, can we go and win the semi-final and the final and have a perfect weekend here in France? It would be amazing if we can do so. We're about to find out, but just having a look at who has qualified for the semi-finals. You've got myself, Baumanis, Gronholm, Jani, Timosyanov, Sebastian Loeb, Kevin Eriksson, Rainis Nitish, Backrud, Kristofferson, Chicherit, and Timmy Hansen. And Timmy Hansen has just scraped through in front of Munich. Petter Solberg has been eliminated. Kevin Hansen has been eliminated. And then Markland has also been eliminated. So, for the semi-finals, we are on pole position for semi number 1 with Nicholas Gronholm alongside us on the front row of the grid. And then you got Timur Timizyanov and Kevin Eriksson on the second row with Backrud and Chicharit on the third row. And just looking at it, there are 5 Fords in semi-final number 1 with a Mini Countryman in the last spot on the grid. So, it's almost an entire Ford affair in semi-final number 1. But if we have a look at semi-final number 2, we've got Baumanis on pole position with Jani alongside. And then you've got Sebastian Loeb and Rainis Nitish sharing the second row of the grid with Johan Kristoffersson and Timmy Hansen on the back row. Here we go. It is semi-finals time here in France. We're on pole position for semi number 1. We grab the handbrake with the revs rise. We are ready to race in France. And we're green for semi-final number 1. Our start has not been the best. We've already lost a few positions down into turn number 1. As we're getting a little bit of a hit up the arse as Timizyanov has jumped into the leaders. Now we're right on the back of Gronholm, leaning on him a little bit down into the heavens. He's jumped right into the door of Timizyanov, and we have profited from all that chaos and jumped into the leads. There were cars all over the place, so much contact through those first few corners. Taking rubbing is racing to the next level there, but somehow we have come out of it all in the lead of this semi-final. We've got clean air, as it looks like only Timizyanov has jokered on the first lap, and I think that is what caused the chaos. You had Gronholm diving up Timizyanov's insides. He was trying to pull across to get into the Joker. Absolute chaos, but we are leading, and now we just need to put our head down and get through to the final lap, and then we'll dive into the Joker, make the most of this clean air. Out of the final corner, we start the final lap here in semi-final number 1, and we must take our Joker on this lap, and the spotter is saying that we are going to come back out in the lead of this race. Is down into the hairpin, hold it tight on the exit and dive into the Joker lap, open this chicane up, use a heap of curb there on the left-hander. Is now the fast right-hander and the very fast rejoiner. There is no one there to be worried about. We come out comfortably in the lead. 1 corner to go now. We pitch the car in to the final corner, and out of the final corner we win semi-final number 1, and very comfortably, I will add. So far, a complete clean sweep of the weekend. We have 1 race left. We've won the first 5 that we have entered. Can we go on and win the final? That is the question. But if we have a look at the semi-final results, I have won semi-final number 1, of course, with Backrud and Kevin Eriksson in second and third. So the 3 of us will be going through to the final. Timur Timizyanov, Gronholm, and Chicharit have been eliminated. In the other semi-final, Rainis Nitish has actually won it, so he'll be joining us on the front row of the grid. Sebastian Loeb and Jani, so the 2 Peugeots have also gone through. Johan Kristoffersson, Baumanis, and Timmy Hansen have all been eliminated. So here is the grid for the final here in France. You got myself starting on pole position with Rainis Nitish alongside us on the front row of the grid. Then you got Sebastian Loeb and Backrud on the second row of the grid with Jani and Kevin Eriksson on the third row. Here we go, it is final time here in France. Can we get a clean sweep of the week's proceedings here in France? That is the question. We've won all the heats, we've won the semi, and we're ready to race in the final. And we're green in the final here in France. I slightly missed the green light there, I think, as we head down into turn number 1, and Nitish has jumped up into the lead with Backrud. It looks like in second place. We've dropped all the way down to third as we head down towards a hairpin for the first time in this race. With Backrud has got up into the lead as Nitish dives off into the Joker lap, and we're now right behind the other Ford Focus as we head down to this fast right-hander. The question is, where is Nitish going to rejoin? He's going to rejoin in front of us. We're going to try it up his inside, and we can't make that work. Is now up the inside at the final corner. We're about to start lap number 2 of 6 here in France, and maybe I should do what Nitish has done and go for the Joker. You can see on the exit, when you're actually racing against other cars, you can gain some time, so we're going to try that, assuming Backrud doesn't go for the Joker right in front of us, and he doesn't. So into the Joker we go on lap number 2. Really use that curve, flip the car back to the right, get a very very sideways. Got a very fast rejoin here, and we've lost a little bit of time now to the outside of Nitish, but we can't quite make that work. Can we dive up his inside into the final corner? Yes, we can. A little bit of a bump on his rear bumper, and we get through as now we've gone very, very wide out of the final corner. A bad run through turn number 1. That will have lost us a little bit of time. And the Joker, the spotter I should say, is saying that once Backroad Jokers will be in second place as Backroad continues for another lap. We really need to get our head down. Now Sebastian Loeb is on our bumper as we head through this very fast right-hander, but Loeb has not jokered, just like Backroad in front of us. We really need to close this gap so we can get into the lead when he takes his joker as we start lap number 4 on 6. We have passed the halfway point now here in France. Another lap. Backroad stays on the normal lap. Still yet to joker. He's going to have to go in the final 2 laps, and we're starting to gain on the Norwegian. Hopefully we can gain up enough through the second last corner. Now through the final corner, you can just see how much closer we are to the Ford Focus in front of us. Is now through turn number 1. Try to gain as much time as we can on Backroad. A little bit wide through there. Is he going to joker on this lap? I don't know, but I'm diving up the inside of the Focus. No, he is not jokered. He's going to have to joker on the final lap. We're going side by side down to this very fast right-hander. We've got the inside line. Pitch the car and keep it very close to the wall to give him some space. He's trying to go right around our outside. We're still going side by side now into the final corner. We've got the inside line, and we should be able to make that move stick, and we do. Now into the lead of the final. We have 1 lap left to go on. Backroad is going to have to joker, but the joker delta is very, very small, and you come out of the joker actually going a bit faster than the normal lap, so a dive bomb into the second last corner is definitely on us. Now we go around the normal lap, around the outside of the joker. We can't see the Ford Focus of Backroad as we head down to the second last corner. He's rejoined just behind us in second place through the final corner, and we're going to win the final here in France in a clean sweep here in France. What a weekend that has been. We've won every single heat, we've won the semi-final, and we've won the final. Absolute domination here in France. So if we have a look at the final results, of course, I have won here in France with Backroad joining us on the podium. So is Sebastian Loeb. Then you got Rainis Nitish in 4th place, Janie in 5th, and Kevin Eriksson in 6th. There we go. We are victorious here in France. The final round of the season, a complete sweep of the event, scoring a maximum of 30 points here in France, and that has just blown our championship lead out even further as we have won the championship. Of course, we knew that after the previous round in Sweden, but after the 5 rounds of this championship, for those that care, I've won the championship with 136 points. Then you got Timur Timizyanov in 2nd place with 83 points, and only 2 points behind him is Andreas Backroad, so very, very close there over 2nd place. Then you got Sebastian Loeb in 4th place with 76 points, 5 points ahead of Rainis Nitish, who finished in 5th. Then Janis Balmanis only 1 point back off Nitish in 6th place. Then Johan Kristoffersen in 7th with 64 points. Timmy Hansen finished in 8th with 62 points. Of course, he won last time out in Sweden. Then you got Janie in 9th with 60 points. Kevin Eriksson rounds out the top 10 with 55 points, 1 point more than Petter Solberg, the not reigning world champion, because this is, oh, actually no, this is technically reigning world champion, because the cars we have in this game are the 2016 cars, so the reigning champion is the 2015 champion, which was Petter Solberg. So yeah, the reigning champion, he's not reigning champion anymore, of course. Ekstrom won last year in 2016 in real life. For some reason, is not in the game. I'm not too sure why. They did not seem to get the license for the Audi team. I'm not too sure. They haven't got Ekstrom in the game. It's a little bit odd considering in this season they have in the game, the 2016 cars, he went on to win the world title, and they have other Audis in the game. I don't know, but Ekstrom isn't in the game regardless. But anyway, continue going through the standings, shall we? Nicholas Gronholm finished in 12th place with 52 points, exactly the same amount of points as Renault Munich, tied for 12th place, of course, those two. Then you got Kevin Hansen in 14th place with 48 points. Then Chicherit, I'm not going to try to pronounce that first name, sitting in 15th place with 28 points. Then Anton Markland rounds out the field in 16th with 25 points. So that is the end of this series, unfortunately. Like I said in the previous episode, there is only 5 tracks in this game, and it makes sense to only do each track once. Unfortunately, even though this is the official Rallycross game, World Rallycross game, they only have 5 of the 12 tracks. It's a bit disappointing. Hopefully, we can see some more Rallycross tracks in the game in the future, maybe through DLC or maybe in the next Dirt game, because I'm sure there'll be another one in a couple years' time, but hopefully we get to see that. But nonetheless, we have 5 tracks in this game, which has been a lot of fun. I've had so much fun with this series. The Rallycross on this game, it is just so damn ridiculously fun. Rallycross is just awesome. If you don't follow it in real life as well, I would highly recommend you do. Since playing this game, I've got into it a lot more than I previously was into it, and if you want to follow it, it's really not that hard. They live stream all the events on YouTube for free. I don't think there's any geo-blocking or anything, so you can watch all the events on YouTube, and of course the live stream on YouTube, so you can go back and watch all of the rounds from this season. They put together about 2 to 2.5 hour show on the Sunday, where they have highlights from the heats, and then the live semis and the live finals. Pretty good. The way they put it together is really, really nice, and Rallycross, it's an awesome sport. I'm so happy that it's in this game, and I've had so much fun on this series, and right now, I am rambling like crazy, and I need to shut myself up and end this video. So that'll do it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Fitcho, and I'll see you all next time. Oh, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Yeah, good.